So let's go into the next segment, which involves what kind of career opportunities are available in the data analysis sector. Firstly, we should take into account the ethical considerations we mentioned previously. So these are divided into privacy, which in a few words is the importance of protecting the individual's privacy when analyzing data. Consent, which is the need of obtaining consent from individuals when collecting and using their data. The risk of bias in data collection, and the need to ensure fairness in all decision-making processes. The need for transparent methodologies when we make a model in data analysis in order to build trust and accountability with the public. And lastly, the measures needed to protect data against breaches or unauthorized access. In particular, we have the assurance of privacy through stringent regulations such as the GDPR in Europe and CCPA, as well as the fine line between leveraging data for insights and infringing on privacy or manipulating outcomes. This is very important to be aware of when conducting any kind of analysis or experiment. We have the security vulnerabilities such as data breaches or cybersecurity threats in general, where data, which is a valuable asset, may become target of malicious groups, which want to steal, for example, sensitive information such as bank credit card information. Now, exploring a bit deeper the analytical bias, there's two kinds of different biases which may be introduced when making an analysis of data. There's bias in the data themselves, which is pre-existing biases that arise in the data collection and selection, and this may lead to skewed analysis or discriminatory outcomes. But there is also the algorithmic bias, which is a bias introduced by the algorithms used themselves. And if they're not carefully designed or monitored, they can perpetuate already established discriminatory views. Now, how can an individual who wants to work in the sector of data analysis overcome the most commonly found challenges, which include investing in, well, firstly, there's the need of investing in quality data management. As we said, there's need to be rigorous data cleaning, validation, and best practices for integrating data. There is an emphasis in continuous learning, since this is a sector which always evolves and develops. It is crucial that the cutting-edge technologies are understood. Fostering an ethical culture. So we must establish and follow clear guidelines for ethical data use and comply with privacy laws in any particular country or union, and the strengthening of our security measures to make sure that our data isn't breached or misused by unauthorized people. Now, in a career context, a data analyst can be defined as a professional who collects, processes, and performs statistical analysis on large data sets. They are responsible for making sure how the data can be used to answer questions and solve problems. Their core responsibilities include data collection, data cleaning, interpretation, and finally presentation visualizing all the data findings and translating complex terms or results into more understandable language that everyday people or for example, stakeholders in a company can figure out and understand. Their skill set may include proficiency in analytical tools and software, such as the examples we gave before, SQL, Python, Excel, etc. There's the need for a strong foundation in statistical methods and mathematics, of course, as well as in machine learning techniques. Critical thinking is also essential, an essential asset to deal with how data models align with business needs, for example. And communication skills are also important in order to convey the data insights to anyone who is interested, to coworkers, for example. Let's see, there's also the business acumen, uh, specifically in understanding the industry sector or the business sector. There needs to be the individual who is a data analyst must have the ability to translate data into business strategies and recommendations that can be actioned. There's the ethical considerations which must always be upheld. And career pathways for such an individual may include entry-level positions or even senior roles in data scientist and data architect job roles. But specialists may move into related fields as well, such as business, intelligence, analytics consultancy. They're not bound to a specific field necessarily. The job market impact of the data analysts is becoming more and more impactful. In recent days, there is high demand across multiple sectors, and data analysts play pivotal roles in optimizing business processes or enhancing customer experience. And finally, there needs to be a continual learning throughout one's career due to the rapidly evolving nature of this technology. So specifically, the essential skills for data analysts are as a group of programming language and analytical tools. There's the need for statistical knowledge and machine learning, data visualization, as well as soft skills such as communication, critical thinking, and collaboration with the team. And finally, business acumen, being able to understand the business context of the data analysis effectively. I would go through this slide because we are running out of time and briefly touch upon how one can build a career in data analysis. First, by acquiring the fundamental skills we discussed, but also through formal education or training, such as degrees in computer science or statistics, but even through online courses and certifications, such as the one we are doing tonight. This may also be acquired by means of practical experience through the completion of projects to put in one's portfolio, through working at internships or even freelancing. There is networking and professional development, such as in any kind of job. A few good strategies to build one's CV, curriculum vitae, is to attend workshops or conferences, be a member of professional or scientific organizations, and generally build an online presence to job finding applications online. Specializing, this is a bit later in the process. Once someone is a data analyst, he or she may choose to specialize in a particular field and become even more advanced. And as we mentioned, there needs to be continuous learning throughout their career. No one can stay put in such a cutting edge field in order to see career advancement further on. Here is a brief overview of the challenges that may come across during a career in the field. I'm not gonna say those again. You can view it just to get a general idea. Now, with our current understanding of the job market in the sector of data analysis, we are able to tell with a high degree of certainty that currently there is a high demand for jobs like this, which are driven on reliance by the increasing reliance on data-driven decision making across all sectors. And so it goes without saying that salary prospects are very attractive at the moment. In industries that are hiring data analysts are a lot and varied. They include, of course, technology and IT, but also finance and banking, healthcare, retail and e-commerce, as well as the public sector. And the roles and titles a data analyst can expect to have in his or her career are that of a data analyst, of course, but also a business intelligence analyst or a data scientist, which is a more advanced role and includes more complex data modeling, making predictive analytics and using machine learning, or a data engineer, who is a person that focuses more on the technical aspects of managing data pipelines, like the one pipeline we saw at the first part of the presentation. He focuses on how the data can be stored and the processing infrastructure. There are also many emerging opportunities in the last few years. There's the machine learning engineers who specialize in creating algorithms and predictive models using ML. There's the data visualization specialist who design compelling visual representations of the data insights gathered by machine learning, for example. And finally, there are data governance and privacy analysts. This is a relatively new role, which emphasizes on the ethical and legal aspects of data management.